Hi, hello everybody. I'd just like to share with you a beautiful thought to feel what's going on in the community in London and around the globe. I'm here in Jerusalem, and thanks to Bibi, we're actually from tonight isolated. And I'd like to share with you a beautiful message. Please take it with you, share it with your friends. We're living in a time that we're writing history. People will know that there was a universe before the coronavirus and the humanity after the virus. We don't know what's going on. We don't know when it's going to end. And we're panicking. We don't know what's going to be. What's going to be with Pesach? How are we going to manage? And when we really deepen our thoughts and we think about exactly what's going on with this pandemic, we can really probably understand how we should go about doing things. Let's just take a few basic facts that we know about this pandemic. This pandemic is universal. It's extravagant. It's gone to every single country in the world. There's never been any pandemic like this. Every other pandemic was certain areas, Europe, there were certain areas, but it was never around the globe. Secondly, this pandemic was in an era where the medical technology was so up to date that there is no cure, there's no vaccine, can you understand that? I'm saying, if there was the last pandemics that they had everything, they would close the synagogues, they would keep distance from each other, and they would be isolated until the pandemic finished. It could take months, and sometimes it took 2 to 3 years. But today's technology, we should be coming up with a vaccine. B'ezrat Hashem, we will become a vaccine very soon. But it's fascinating. The third difference is mind-boggling. Completely, I was so puzzled. Even though we saw China were losing hundreds of citizens daily, we never really paid proper attention. And we all said, no, it won't affect us. Oh, it's only in China. Even though we knew about it, we saw it, and we always said, don't worry, it won't happen to me. We prefer to ignore it and continue our life normally. Unbelievable. Until it slowly came into our lives. But there is one difference, which I believe in 2020 is a complete difference to any other pandemic. And that difference is communication and technology that we have in today's world. It's far beyond our imagination. We're able to speak face to face with people across the globe. We never know people existed if not for this technology. True, we are isolated, each one in their home, but with today's technology, we have a tremendous advantage. We're together, and we can be that unity, a special bond during these difficult times. The Almighty is known as Kadosh, holy. This means, in Chazal we know, Kedoshim Tihiyu, being nivdal, being separate and discreet. In other words, being isolated. God is isolated. On the other hand, we know the Almighty has Hashgacha Pratit, private supervision, divine intervention. In other words, He's continuously giving to us. Actually, these two things don't really coincide with each other. How do they actually synergize together? The Almighty, on the contrary, He has the ability to do whatever He wants because of His holiness. Why is it so important for Him to be isolated? You know why? This point has actually been puzzled scholars for many years. The truth is that if He wasn't isolated and we'd be able to really see Him, we would actually never have any place to sin. We have the power to choose. We have the power of choice. And that's why man is greater than any other creation, because we have that power to choose. And that's only because He's isolated. So to sum it up, the Almighty is an ultimate giver. He's continuously giving to us, and even His isolation is a gift. And the truth is, we're living alone in our houses, isolated, and that is our gift. But yet we have our ability to continually give, and that we only have in our generation. Take whatever you want, take Skype, take Zoom, take Twitter, take WhatsApp, whatever, the list goes on. But when we are thinking about giving to each other, about helping each other, then we can get through this together, and we can feel the unity in the community that we are. This shows our true unity no matter what, whatever happens to me, however isolated I am, I'll be there for you. Not because I see you in the synagogue, and not because I saw my neighbor in the shop, that's why I'm going to speak to him. No, it's because I picked up the phone, or because I sent a message, because I thought of you. And now we have the ability to keep that unity going. And that unity is coming to resemble God's characteristics. And that we can only do with today's technology. To enjoy that giving, to take these times and try with all our might to give no matter what. Then we can really enjoy this unitedness together. Pick up the phone to your granddad or your granny, even if you don't have Twitter, you're not in this technology, just pick up the phone to them. They're more than happy to speak to you. They've been so long in their isolation. Just pick up the phone and have a 20-minute conversation with any person, and they'll be more than happy. You've given them that gift of the day. Send them gifts, send them flowers, send them food. And if you don't have time for any of that, take 2 Psalms of King David and say them every day, and know you're making a difference to the globe. Keep those smiles on your faces in these hard times. A lot of people need those smiles. To summarize, don't be those people who are taking this era as a way to isolate themselves, but rather a way to be able to give more to others, to be able to think more about others. Start firstly at home, give to your wife and kids. Don't worry, you will never regret the quality time you're giving to your wife and children. The times you will never forget for the rest of your life. And then continually give to the community, continually phone and give whatever you can. And that's the ultimate. And I think that's the most pinnacle understanding in this era at the moment. To really resemble the Almighty's characteristics. 2 definitions of HaKadosh Baruch Hu. The isolation in one hand, but on the other one being an ultimate giver. This coming Shabbat, we'll be reciting our first 24 hours of our lifetime without leaving our homes and without any technology. Take this special time to connect with your wife and family, and of course with the Almighty, the ultimate giver. When we resemble the Creator, then we can pray together. May He bring His divine presence down in the building of the Bet HaMikdash HaShlishi with the coming of the Messiah. Amen.